Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today I'll be reviewing Tron Ares. The movie stars Leto, Greta, and Evan Peters. So Tron Ares sees Ares, a highly sophisticated program, come into the world from 200 core as he's trying to get this Everlife code from Encol. So we're going to get into the review today, and Rune's going to start us off.
Right, so I've heard the chatter that a lot of people hate this movie, and in some bits I understand why. But I still think the hate is a bit unwarranted because, um, so this movie is a sequel to. I'm guessing it is a sequel to Tron Legacy, and in some terms, apart from like a couple of scenes, it's basically is a standalone movie. So Ares is like John explained whatever he said. Is played by Jared Leto, and I don't like Jared Leto as an actor, but here he's been given material like this. He has to be just do like he's stoic, and that's all his stick. So I can't hate him on that because I think that's the material he has been given. Um, l- this movie looks really good. The soundtrack is decent, and the bike ride scenes they're pretty cool, and the action was fine. So those are the things I like, and I love Tron Legacy. I think it's a great movie, and at that time people hated that movie, and some reason that movie looks way better than this one, and the soundtrack is one of the best of all time. So um if that movie came out now, it would make so much money. It would be like praised by everyone. So that's just explained how we proceed movie these days. Now the storyline here is basically Ares is already in the mood that he wants to break free. So this is a strange choice. Usually we have that safe story plot and but the or AI or the computer program whatever. So he sort of is like a general like program, and then he wants to break free whatever. So but here from the get-go, and that was a strange choice, and Legacy looks way better than this. So that's and the worst part was two characters, like one of the guys uh like comedy relief. I don't know who was it, can't remember. He was really bad, and I don't know why we still doing these characters. Like we have to have them. He was making these jokes. They were so lame, and I was getting really angry. And then even Peters came. I really like him. He's a great actor. He was giving me vibes of Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor. I was just waiting for Ewan Peters to shove a lolly in someone's mouth, and I was going to shoot myself or whatever. But he was almost there to be the next Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. So that is just awful writing. I don't know what they were thinking. He was sitting the whole time in one room, and he's not going into the crate and one another. We are not going into the crate a lot. We are basically on Earth over. And that is why we're doing this. We're in a Tron movie. If I want to watch a movie, a sci-fi plot, I can watch some other sci-fi movie which is on Earth. But we have to go into the grid. This movie is very there. There's sort of from first from a pay homage to that movie. That was good, but so there's a side villain as well, and that becomes like a major villain because he basically sitting in one room the whole time. Yeah, I don't remember much good about from this movie, but like I said, the action was good. The soundtrack when Nine Inch Nails was fun. Cameron?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I really enjoyed the way it looked. I really enjoyed the soundtrack, but the plot was just so weak for me. I just didn't care for anyone. I don't think anyone really stood out. But yeah, like me said, the villains were in this one was so bad. Like they're just there to keep the plot moving, and I just didn't care. I mean, that guy was just in that room the whole time. I'm just like, he was just doing the same thing every time. Every time he just reprint them and send them off, and then they could only last 20 minutes, and then they go back, and then it'd reprint them again. It was just too much of the same thing. But when we were in the grid, I mean, I loved it. I thought it looked really cool. I mean, I don't think I watched Tron Legacy. I think I remember if I did, so I probably haven't. But just surviving the grid was really cool. I mean, that opening sequence was when they're hacking the the good guys. I thought that was really well done. I mean, it had the guy from Jedi Survival, which I really liked, but he was only in there for 30 seconds, so I don't know why he was part of press and stuff. I was excited to see him on the big screen, and I'm just like, oh, poor bastard, 30 seconds when he's dead. But he is pretty awesome. Yeah, 30 seconds to Mars. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I wish he was in it more, but alas. But yeah, I think Jared Leto did a good job. I like Jared Leto as an actor and a musician, so I'm blinded by love. Love you, Jared. Yeah, just yeah. I think it was fine. I don't hate it. I think that yeah, that definitely the action, the way it looked in the sound was what was tying me along this whole whatever it was, 2 hours it was. So I mean, yeah, just the plot was just so weak. I just didn't care if it ended on his son. I don't know, maybe they took over, but if the good guys won, I just didn't care. But as long as it didn't look cheap, so I think that was a plus for Disney. Sometimes they can really go on the cheaper side and plaster this $200 billion cost to make, and it comes out like poo poo. But this looked actually really cool. John? Yeah, so I saw it in a couple different ways. I saw it in IMAX with the light immersive experience. They give you these cool little wristbands and they light up during a film. So if you want to see the real wide aspect ratios, especially in 3D, looks really good. I also saw it in 40X. This one's a little just a light up band, doesn't do anything in the film, but there you go. Ah, yeah, 40X experience was also really good in terms of there's a lot of scenes where you're going in there's a chase scene in the grid and all the pixels and explosions are using water effects to kind of give you the aspect. So for me, I enjoyed the film watching it both times. I think if you can go see in one of these kind of like gimmicky sessions, you'll even get more enjoyment out of it. But on to my thoughts on the actual film itself, I think that the probably best part of it was the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack. I think it was much better deployed in this film than it was in Challenges. So I really enjoyed the soundtrack and how it fit the film so well. Also in agreement with the guys, I really like the effects. I think that nothing looks fake. And a lot of the times, especially when you watch Tron Legacy and you see Jeff Bridges' face on the young Jeff Bridges, it looks like such a CGI face, but you can get away with that because it's a computer program. So that's explained away. But yeah, everything looked really clean, really nice. All the scenes where you're getting Tron in the real world, and when I say Tron, the world of Tron, because Tron isn't in the real world. Yeah, it looks really nice, especially some of my favorite bits were like the light cycles when they've got those light strings coming off the back of them in the real world. That looks really cool. And all the different like weapons and things they do in the real world. That I thoroughly enjoyed. This code that they're looking for is pretty much the crux of the story. It's pretty much a basic A to B plot. Looking for code, find code, evil guy tries to get code, and then the film ends. But I think that Jared Leto does a really good job, really good performance. Evan Peters is alright for me as a villain. He's not very menacing. I didn't really get the tattoos that he has. He's got like this full body kind of circuitry tattoos, and I thought they were going to explain it or it was going to come into it something, but it just didn't really go anywhere. I would have much preferred if we kept Cillian Murphy's character from Tron Legacy as the villain because he was already kind of written in the story and it would have been a nice another way to link it. They pretty much scrubbed all of Tron Legacy bar something at the end, so I won't ruin that. But they pretty much scrubbed the rest of Tron Legacy and out of this film. So look, I think it was a good film. I enjoyed it personally. Wasn't really bored in it. I found the story for what it is good enough because at the end of the day, this isn't like a standalone film. It's not really a sequel, I would say, as such. It's mainly just in the world of Tron, and it's not really continuing any storylines from Legacy, but it's more like it to build on the final
storyline and to try and expand the universe. The way that it ends, you can see there are sequels coming, but I think that the story would have been a lot better if they kind of just saw this as a single film on its own, done it like that, as opposed to trying to, expand things and get a bit too far ahead, which they do a lot nowadays. I I still enjoyed the basic plot, but yeah, even they have Jeff Bridges pretty much just for fan service. That's the only reason he's there. And you know, it was like I like seeing him, don't get me wrong, but yet again, it's like let's shoehorn him in there kind of thing because we need something to link to the original Tron. But yeah, they're my thoughts.
The only character I think they gave little bit that was great is he came like very little just to make someone bit, you can relate to. And the way Aries is like get to know her is parasocial in my opinion. He literally stalking her and now is sort of, I don't know, in love. I don't know what's the relationship. But that's just creepy in my opinion. So yeah, there. That was weird. The weird choice.
It was like, and it was like a second. It wasn't like it slowly happened. It was like all of a sudden, it's like, I love you now, Grimes, honey. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, and then his fascination with things from the 80s and Depeche Mode, like the whole film. And I didn't even remember this band, Depeche Mode. And then
We don't know where it comes from. So but that's what I said. We don't know like what wants him to break free or but so we need is some sort of background for him and just got nothing.
but Sam, you didn't like Sam. I like Sam. Comedy.
Who is it? Oh no, oh there I go. He's the guy that's like in the elevator.
He's like, oh, this is my friend Aries. And then he's like, oh, he's Greek. Are you from Greece? And then he's like, he's a computer programmer. See, for me, I love that bit. That was, for me, I laughed in both sessions. I laughed in that scene.
Yeah, it definitely stood this. It was like a thorn in my side. Every time he'd stick out, like they'd always pan the camera to him, and it's just every time was just a joke. There was no need for his character. He's supposed to always, yeah. It wasn't even smart. Like he was the lackey to eat, but he didn't even know what he was doing. He was just making burritos. All right, guys, good to be asked us. Yep. Man, how many light cycles out of 10?
They're 5.5 light cycles out of 10.
John, I'm gonna give it 8.5 light cycles out of 10. Yeah, I'll pick 6.5 light cycles out of 10. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and we'll catch you next vlog. Ciao.